As we get nearer and nearer to the resumption of Parliament and the announcing of the federal cabinet, the revised cabinet under Justin Trudeau, a lot of questions hang in the air. The main one, I think, being, has Justin Trudeau learned how to play well with others? Back when they had a majority for 4 years, the Liberal government, well, they were already rather haughty in the way they conducted themselves. They would vilify the opposition that disagreed with them. They would needlessly make a lot of situations worse for themselves, doing a lot of name-calling and so forth. They could have taken the high road because, well, why not? You already control all the levers of power, and now when they need goodwill from the opposition the most, well, are they going to continue down that path? Or are we going to see a more conciliatory, a more consensus-building Justin Trudeau? And those are going to be the things to watch for in the days and weeks ahead. Already there are kind of conflicting messages out there. Justin Trudeau talking about learning to work with others, learning to listen to the opposition. He's had some meetings with all of the opposition leaders. Of course, he's going to have to. He's going to have to say, hey guys, let's do things together. And he says he wants to deal with Western alienation. And then they say the cabinet is going to be expanded. We've just learned that. There's going to be more cabinet posts to deal with all these different positions. But what are these cabinet ministers going to be tasked with doing? You know, when Bill Blair was first put into that new position of dealing with border security, one wondered, well, would his job be to actually deal with border security, actually clamp down on illegal crossings and deal with expediting the whole issue, or would it be to give the impression that one's dealing with it? Would Bill Blair go around the country and badger other people into believing there are no problems, badger people into keeping quiet on all of the problems? What's that going to be like when it comes to dealing with Western alienation? If they assign 1 or 2 different cabinet posts to deal with all of that, will it be people actually going there and saying, what are the concrete, specific things we can do to deal with your problems? Jason Kenney has already started to put forward a number of ideas in that panel that they've put, that Preston Manning will be on and others, the firewall panel, to look at ways to sort of further insulate Alberta from the rest of Canada in similar ways that Quebec did a number of years ago, all without separating. That's where we've come to. That's the point we're in. Now, is the Trudeau minister just going to be someone who goes and tours Alberta and says, I feel your pain, I hear your pain, a la Bill Clinton years ago? Or is this going to be someone who actually says, okay, let's get to work? And what will that work look like? Because, you know, it's funny that we have a situation here where the Liberal government is saying we got to double down, we got to triple down on climate change and our obsession with this issue. We got to talk about it more. And here I am watching the national scene going, how can we talk about it more than we're already talking about it? I mean, they don't shut up about the thing. That's pretty much all they ever talk about. So they are more seized than ever with their climate alarmism. A number of sources tell me we should expect Stephen Guilbeault to be introduced into cabinet, some sort of role dealing with climate change, and he seems even more seized with the issue than Catherine McKenna is, if you can believe it. Well, that's not going to look too good to a lot of people out west. And yes, Justin Trudeau says a lot of Canadians really into climate change, and polls show that people are getting more concerned about that issue. But then at the same time, more people voted for the Conservatives under Andrew Scheer, who said axe the carbon tax, than there were people who voted for the Liberals. Yes, the Liberals are still in power, but they lost the popular vote. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you that people are divided on this issue. And if Trudeau wants to be a consensus builder, well, consensus is all about taking the issues we disagree with and watering them down, shelving them even, not actually poking the bear on those issues, and instead going, what's our common ground, which is actually the title of Justin Trudeau's book he released before becoming Prime Minister. What's our common ground? Okay, let's agree on these 3 or 5 or what have you policy positions and proceed with those. And you know, there are going to be issues that not just Justin Trudeau and one other opposition leader agree on for him to get the majority votes. There's going to be issues where 3 or 4 party leaders agree on. So why not rally and unify behind those issues rather than the ones that are needlessly divisive, like the climate issue? The conversation, I think, is increasing more and more now about how there's things you can do to deal with emissions, deal with climate change and so forth that are actually voluntary methods, that they're corporations doing R&D, building a better mousetrap, community initiatives, all things out there in civil society or in the business community. It doesn't need to be by fiat from on top, the federal government telling people, you must do this, you must live like this, you must pay this and that much disliked tax. there are options out there. Maybe Justin Trudeau's going to have to put on that thinking cap and realize that not everything has to come top down from government. So these are going to be the big issues that Justin Trudeau faces as he enters a minority government. Is he going to learn to play well with others? That's the number one question. We've yet to see the answer.